Hello, my friends. Welcome to 1111 Outdoors. Today we're going to talk about the Gerber Strongarm Camp. I have carried this for a little while now. You know me, I'm not one of those people that, oh, a knife just got released, let me make a video about it. I mean, how much can you possibly know about a knife if you literally just took it out of the box that morning? I don't quite understand. I mean, I understand why people do that. They're trying to rush out there and get their first video out there to be the first on the scene, but I mean, Chopper 5 was the first on the Chopper 5 crash, if you know what I mean. Anyway, this is the Gerber Strongarm Camp, and this is a very cool little knife. I really like it. I do. I'm probably going to carry this on my next adventure. I don't know, maybe the next adventure after that. We'll see. And if you saw my short, you'll know that I had a few issues with this knife. I tried to work around them, but it needed some mod. And I performed those mods. And as promised, I am going to reveal those mods to you today. Some people may like them, some people may not like them. That's fine. I did it because it fits my purposes, and I think that more people will be able to relate to it than not. But let's get into what this is. This is the Strongarm Camp, and it's named the Strongarm after its big brother. The big brother is the Gerber Strongarm. It's a very tactical military platform, very modular. This setup is actually, when you get used to it, it's very cool. You can do a lot with what they've given you here. And I'm not a fan of all of it, but I am a fan of some of it. And it really does fit the bill for a variety of situations. I've strapped this to a kayak. I've had it on my tack vest. I've used this quite a bit in a variety of scenarios. And this modular platform gives you the ability to do that. That is the Strongarm platform. And the camp comes with a very similar Strongarm platform. That's why they named them the same. It's not like this knife is the same as this knife or anything like that. It just has a lot of similarities. The rubberized overmolding, it's here as well. The way that they've shown that it's full tang by having this witness on the back, it's there as well. They've done quite a few things the same, and they've done a few things different. This is more of a camping, outdoorsman chore knife, like light duty chore knife, I think. And this is more of a tactical, it has hit the fan and I have to do things that no other knife can do. This knife is for that. This is a camp duty knife. Strongarm. Now, with this plastic modular system they've had a few knives like this. They had the Principal. The Principal came with a very modular system, and these systems have this interlocking interface where you can place your molly in here and attach this by lacing this through the molly and through the plastic. You can attach this straight to your molly bag, which is pretty cool, and it releases pretty easily. The camp has the same platform, and there's all kinds of things. You can carry it scout style. I cut this like this so I can put it on my my life preserver, my PFD when I was kayaking. There's so many ways you can use this. In fact, they had another piece. Let me see. Yeah, this piece here actually has a clip. So you could put this right on here and you could just clip it, which is fantastic. Had I had this with me, I wouldn't have had to mod this, but I didn't. This was lost at the time, but you can see how it has a beneficial ring to it. You could put that right on your belt. This is the Principal, by the way. Very cool knife. Scandi grind. It's a nice little bushcraft knife. I like this knife. Anyway, that being said, that explains this whole modular system. Probably my only complaint with this is there's no platform compatibility. Like, let's say I wanted to put this piece that I just had on the principal onto my strong arm. So if I get the strong arm out, pull the scout style issue off, what if I wanted to put this on there? Well, you could see they just made them where they just didn't quite line up. I mean, you could make this work in a pinch. I think I had it on there, like I really forced it on there one time. But wouldn't it have been nice if they'd made a variety of these that could, you know, be shared between the platforms? I mean, it's the same system. Why would you make it just different enough that they weren't compatible? I don't understand. They really missed the boat on that. I mean, this piece, pretty much the same. I mean, but there's a slight offset, you know? This one will actually work. But this one, not so much. It's just barely won't do it, you know? Anyway, that would have been nice. So, this system aside, I really like the plastic. I really like the ability to attach it to a molly or to a pouch you have on your bag or whatever. You can really do a lot with this modular plastic system that is similar in this, similar in the strong arm, and similar in the principal. And all of these knives are pretty good quality knives. I really like Gerber's knives. They do a great job. When they say legendary blades, that's where they are. They're good at it. Now, there are a few Gerber knives I'm not a fan of, but these three have served me well. This knife, when it came out, it had a full blade on it. There was a drop point, but it was so long that you really couldn't get up on the handle, or I found it hard to get up on the handle without wanting to cheat into the choil. Now, if you saw my video on the mini Praxis, you'll see kind of where I'm going with this choil situation. Now, a lot of old timers will tell you that a choil has no benefit, and I don't know if I totally agree with that. I mean, I understand where they're going, but as far as versatility goes, I think it does. I mean, they say, well, I never had to choke up on a blade. You know, I remember my one of the older gentlemen that I trained with said he never had to choke up on a blade, but that was just his technique. But there are several techniques that work well, choking up on a blade, moving forward, and really putting your leverage into the blade work and not solely into the handle where it's kind of off balance, in my opinion. A lot of people might not share my opinion on this, but that's where I stand. So for me, if you're going to give me a choil, you're going to give me a finger choil, make enough real estate there where I can use it. You know, don't just waste blade real estate with something that I can't utilize. And that's what they did here. They put a choil on there that was just shallow enough to be dangerous, but not deep enough to have any utility. So, and I'll explain that. Also, when you buy this knife, it doesn't have a 90-degree spine. And some people, you know, they're not big fans of the ferro rod. They're not fans of, you know, doing the more, you know, fun side of bushcraft where you're striking a ferro rod. Some people don't like that at all, and that's fine. But for me, I like using a ferro rod. There's something about throwing a spark to start a fire that I find it all part of the experience. To me, it's fun to start a fire with a ferro rod. So a 90-degree spine is necessary for that. I mean, I wouldn't use my blade edge to do that, but I've seen people do that. I highly recommend not doing that. The 90-degree spine is what you need for that. And then the final mod that I did was there's no jimping on this knife. Like, if you're going to cheat your thumb forward to do any woodwork or do some technical movement with the blade, there's no jimping on here to help you out with that. So choil wasn't deep enough, no 90-degree spine, and there was no jimping. So without further ado, this is my mod. You might like it, you might not, but this is what I did. This is the mod that I did on the Gerber Strongarm Camp. This choil was extremely shallow. There was no jimping on this back, and this was not a 90-degree spine. Now, if you look at the knife, I didn't lose any real estate. The blade pretty much always stopped right here. It was just this was extremely shallow, very similar to the Praxis mod that I did. But with it like this, I can put my finger in here and confidently not worry about my finger slipping into the blade. And I have enough handle that I can actually get some purchase on this. And with that jimping, I can get my thumb to dig in and really do some work. I can confidently travel this edge along whatever I'm working on without fear that it's gonna, because before you had to hold it like this. And I'm not sure what caveman principle this is, but it just didn't work for me. Might work for you, you might love it. If so, carry on. But for me, I needed to put my finger here, my thumb here, and really get some work out of this edge. Now, this blade, the drop point, is outstanding. I love the shape of this blade. And I hope that you admire the mod that I did. If you don't, I get it. You know, some people don't like this stuff, but for me, it has to feel natural. It has to feel confident. I have to be able to, in the dark or in the mud or in the blood, whatever you're doing, I have to be able to put my finger here and not be afraid that I am going to travel here. I have to have that. That's something I need to confidently be able to do. And I feel like I can do that with this. So that's my mod on the Strongarm Camp. And I probably rambled too far into its, lineage and all that business. But the only other thing I wanted to do to this knife, or felt inclined to do with this knife, was this back end here. They have this little breaker. I mean, I'm not sure what that's for, other than to give you proof that it's full tang or somewhat full tang. But if you're familiar with the Gerber, no, not the Gerber, if you're familiar with the Mora knife, Garberg, it has a very similar feature, but that feature has a 90-degree spine on it. And I really thought about putting a 90-degree edge on this thing, because then you could use it for scraping, you could use it for a variety of things, but it is so, it's not very proud. It barely is a relief from this shape right here. So I didn't really see the point of that. I could break open a shell or crack open a nut or something with this. Not really sure what it's for, but I could do that. I'd break a car window if I had to. But this 90-degree spine here works just fine for shaving, kindling, get you some real fines to work with when you're starting a fire. Works very well. So that's my take on the Gerber Strongarm Camp. Great little knife. I've carried it on, half a dozen adventures so far, and it has been a joy to use. After I did these mods, for me, it really fits the bill. I really like this knife. So if you're looking into getting this knife, I highly recommend it. If you do need to negotiate the profile the way I did, I fully understand that. And hopefully this gave you some ideas in case you wanted to do that. So that's my take on it. This is 1111 Outdoors, and I thank you so much for spending the time with me. I look forward to seeing you in the future. Going to release a lot of videos in the next few months. So stick around and we'll have some fun. We'll explore gear and we're probably going to go out on the road and do some adventures out there. So I look forward to you coming along with me. I look forward to sharing all this content with you. Thank you for your time. Have a great evening. I'll talk to you soon.